Shalom Tank Sheinkopf, former advisor to Bill Clinton.
Shalom, Yoni.
So here in Israel, we're in the midst of the pre-elections campaigns, and we're hearing the claims according to which Prime Minister Netanyahu's policies harm Israel. Where do you hold on that?
That's not important to the Israelis. How the world feels about the head of the government in Israel is absolutely not important to the Israelis. Now, it's important to the American Jews because they have a different viewpoint. They have to live outside. They're in the galut. So it's important to them, but it's really not important to Israelis. What is important to Israelis is the condition of the economy probably right now, if you look at public opinion polling, because security has always been a problem. It just goes up and down, and it's been a problem for Jews for 3,000 years. So what's new? That's not the question. How people don't like the head of the government only matters in Israel. It doesn't matter in the rest of the world to Israelis.
So how do you see what we're seeing in terms of the Obama-Netanyahu relationship?
The issue with Obama and Mizrach HaTikun in the Middle East is entirely different. His legacy is one of lack of clarity, and there's a general sense among the pro-Israel community in the United States that he's really not with us in any way, shape, or form. The fact that Netanyahu and Obama don't get along is no different than what happened with the Clinton and Netanyahu. They didn't get along. It is, again, about people on the right and left, and there's an ideological inconsistency because when American presidents are used to dealing with Jews who are Democrats and liberals. And here is not the case with Netanyahu. It's not the case. He's much more like a Republican. He's also, if you look at his history as Sar Otzar, as the head of the finance ministry, he was very much free market based, and that's something that Democrats have some problems with as well in the United States.
Now, Hank, you worked with the Democrat Clinton, and now you're criticizing the Democrat president, Barack Obama.
It was different. Bill Clinton is a very different fellow. I served President Clinton during his election campaign from early 1995 through 1996. He loved Jews. Most of the people who worked for him at that level of the re-election campaign were Jews. His personal library in the White House was filled with books about Jews. He admired us, and he had very strong feelings about us. That was a generation ago. It's not that Barack Obama doesn't admire us or have strong feelings about us. It's that he has decided that he is going to reshape the world and America's foreign policy in a way that he believes benefits the United States. Now, whether he is right or wrong, we don't know. But it's a different kind of relationship. You don't have the same kind of bonding, and you also don't have the ability you can't imagine that Barack Obama would be standing on the lawn of the White House with a so-called Palestinian and an Israeli making a peace treaty. It doesn't work. John Kerry is the wrong choice, and Americans seem to feel that way as well to make this happen. So it's very complicated and very different than when Clinton was in the White House.
As a PR expert, how do you see the Israeli PR, the Hasbara?
It's the most amazing thing in the world. Jewish people invented the public relations business. The first major PR figure in the world was a fellow named Bernays, who was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, the founder of modern psychoanalysis. So the public relations business, entirely a Jewish creation. Jews have been dominant in it. Firms like Ruder and Finn, Rubenstein, Edelman, these are not Irish Catholics. These are Jewish people. So it's astounding that we can't figure out how to deal with our own public relations issues. The problem is one of anti-Semitism largely and a lack of focus. We are trying to tell an old story. The old story is, look at us. We were in concentration camps 70 years ago, and look what we've built. The fact is the world has a very short memory and doesn't care anymore. What we should be telling them is that we are the people, Jews and Israelis, who give you the medicine every day and created it that keeps your heart going when you have high blood pressure. We are the people that created the best surgical techniques known to mankind. We are the people who are creating medical devices that allow people who are paralyzed and immobile to walk again. But we're not telling that story. We're telling a victim story. The better move from a PR standpoint is when a plane from America on a mission lands from Lud, in Lud at Ben Gurion, the first thing that people should be doing is, after they have breakfast, is taken to see what Kvish Mishpar Shesh, what Highway 6 and the factories there look like, so people understand that we are the people of the book and the people of the brain.
Now we hear your Hebrew, the accent, the words. You're very connected.
You cannot separate a Jew from his heritage. The Rambam teaches us that that there are three crowns in Jewish life, and the one he talks about as being the most important is the crown of Torah and mitzvot. The very fact that we live, and the very fact that the Israelis and the Jews throughout the world do the things that they do, but mostly Israelis, is a function of belief and in nationhood. You cannot separate us from that mitzvah and Torah. And what is more difficult, outside in the Galut, outside of Israel, where Hebrew is not the language of daily use, it's much more important to have that connection to Torah and mitzvot, because that's the binding argument. That keeps us together. And without that, we are not a people. We're just another group. And if we didn't have it, do you think the world would be bothering us the way it does?
Hank Sheinkopf, thank you very much for joining us.
Toda rabba lechem. No, thank you very much, Yoni.